Okay, we're here today with Matt Tuggle, Colorado. Matt Tuggle Designs, one of our newer instructors here at GRS. This episode is sponsored by Tuggle Designs gear, which I'm wearing here. Get a shot of this. Matt, man, I appreciate you sitting down and talking to us and interviewing a little bit. Tell us about what you're going to work on today.
This is going to be a little project for my basic engraving fabrication class next year. Just some silver earring that will be practicing some soldering, some bezel setting, and a little bit of engraving on it.
Awesome,
So,
man.
yeah.
Cool. Talk to us about how you started.
So I was really fortunate, and my high school had a really good art program. So we had jewelry making as well. And so I kind of fell in love with it freshman year and took it all 4 years of high school and kind of just dove in early then and got my feet wet then and just kind of kept pursuing it afterwards.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so you're now you now have Tuggle Designs with your wife Lauren. What's it like working with your spouse every day?
We're pretty fortunate that we can tolerate each other and be with each other 24/7. I know not everybody is that fortunate, but if you know Lauren, she's pretty laid back and pretty easygoing. So I do feel fortunate that we can kind of be with each other all the time. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
for sure.
That's really cool. What would you say was your biggest hurdle when you were first learning or first trying to get started?
First biggest hurdle was trying to get a job in the industry. Like nobody wanted to hire anybody that had no experience. So I got really lucky, and my mom worked with someone at the elementary school, and her husband had a jewelry store, and so it's kind of how I got my first in working in the industry. So that was kind of the biggest hurdle. And then back in the day, everybody didn't really want to share information. They were afraid that you're going to steal their job. And so it was really hard to get the old timers to kind of open up to you and teach you things. So that was kind of the biggest.
How has that affected, because I think you're one of the most helpful people on social media forums, on, in person, like you go absolutely out of your way to help people. And I think it's helped you also, but man, the amount of time and effort that you've put in and spent with people, does that kind of come from?
That did stem a lot from that. Yeah, for sure. It kind of drove me crazy that nobody would share. And I'm kind of more on the mindset that if everybody shares, then everybody's going to be, evolving way further than if everybody's closed off. So yeah, I do kind of try to go out of my way to help people and do what I can when I can.
I think something's interesting too about that is like I think a lot of people now look to you as an industry expert and a go-to person for advice because you've been so giving. Was that just kind of a cool byproduct of the whole thing? I mean, what has being helpful to others like done for you also? Like obviously that wasn't your intention.
Yeah.
But I think if more people thought that way and understood that there's a benefit to themselves also, maybe people would be more giving and sharing.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times I learn things that I wouldn't even have thought the way that a beginner or somebody is asking some questions. It kind of makes me think about what I know and what I'm sharing. And sometimes I learn things that, I learn from them, and I learn new techniques and different ways of doing things. And it's just all kind of snowballs, and it helps me in that way for sure. Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
What would you say inspires you the most?
I'm kind of inspired by like nature outside, and then also like architecture, and then just like very technique inspired as well. If I see somebody doing a certain technique, then I like to dive into that and see how I can apply that to what I do.
Okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Who are some artists that you either look up to or you're, fortunate to be friends with that have like helped you along the way or something like that?
First person that comes to mind is Jason Fava for sure. He's been a really good mentor, and always, same kind of way. He's always willing to answer questions and be helpful if he can. Another person is Jeremy Dunn. I look up to that guy's fabrication expertise as well. And then David Michael Jules is also another one too for sure. Probably those three are my top.
Those guys are great, man.
Yeah.
Every one of them, they all stand out in the industry 100%. If you weren't an engraver, diamond setter, jeweler, what do you think you would have done?
Definitely probably would have been something artistic. that's pretty much all through school. That's all it took was art classes
Yeah.
or PE classes. I guess I could have gone into some kind of sport or something like that too. I was big into track and field. I did pole vaulting in high school and things like that. So probably somewhere in that avenue.
Your art sports.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
What did you want to be when you were a little kid?
Oof, when I was a little kid, probably the thing that I remember most is I wanted to be like a comic book artist. I remember going around with my sketchbook, and I would just go to the park with a friend and draw for hours and just try to come up with my own like little comic book line. Yeah.
That's really cool. So you have kids at home.
Mhm.
Is your 6-year-old showing any interest in what you guys do?
Oh yeah. He can't get him out of the shop, and then he's kind of getting to the age now where I'm afraid he's going to hurt himself with something sharp or hit himself with the hammer. But man, you walk into his bedroom and it's like he doesn't have a piece of real estate left on his wall from all his drawings and paintings that he does at school. Yeah, so that's been really cool to see kind of his evolution of how his drawings so far have evolved and getting more complicated. And so
man, that's super cool. What advice would you have for a new artist that's just starting out, like, beginning, they're trying to figure out kind of how to start, what to do? What advice would you have for them?
Yeah, I mean, I would say with all the new schools, like, the training center here and stuff, they go get some training. It's just going to cut years off of the learning curve and a lot of the guesswork. And then, yeah, I mean, just going and working for someone for a little while, you gain so much experience on somebody else's dime and all that. So yeah, I would say go work for somebody and take some classes.
Talk us through a little bit about your decision, you guys' decision to actually open a brick and mortar store, and kind of some of the both the challenges and the benefits of that.
Yeah. So our ultimate decision to open the store was we had run out of shop space in our basement. So we just were like, well, if we're gonna have to build something out, we might as well give retail a try and try it out and see if we like it. If we don't, we can go back to building out a shop on our land and be by appointment only. And yeah, I mean, it's been going really good. It was a huge undertaking on building the space out that I wasn't expecting, just from like fire code and all this stuff that you had to that you don't necessarily think about when you're not in a retail space. That was, if I probably would have known what all that would have entailed, I might have not done it with a 4 and a 2-year-old. But yeah, I'm super grateful that we did, and we've been having a great response in the community there, and it's going great. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that a lot of people would know you for is your social media. You have a big following on social media. I think you guys crush on social media. What's a piece of advice that you would give for somebody that doesn't have a big following yet? What advice would you have for that person?
Just to be consistent and enjoy posting what you're posting, because you have to be consistent with it. And if you don't enjoy doing it, then you're not going to want to be consistent with it. Reels are really big for Instagram. I was trying to post one a day, but I've had to cut back with kids and store and all that. So just trying to be consistent with it and have fun doing it.
All right, rapid fire questions. All easy, and just answer them quickly. Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Favorite chips?
Sun chips.
Flavor?
Like cheese ones, I guess, or French onion one too.
Favorite movie?
Oh man. Not a really big movie person, to be honest.
Favorite TV show?
TV show. The latest one is You Don't Want This, the Netflix series. That was pretty funny.
What's your guilty pleasure?
shoot, I don't know. That's a tough one too. Snowboarding. I don't know.
Okay, that's fair. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
Yeah, for sure.
Favorite smell?
Favorite smell. Definitely not Top Tab Magic.
That's what Mitchell said his was.
Really? That's what his favorite
yeah.
was? Oh man. I don't know. Pumpkin spice smells pretty nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was your like most memorable or favorite Halloween costume as a kid?
Probably when I was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. My mom sewed the costume and the head was so heavy that I couldn't hold my head up.
No way.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. Sweet or salty?
Probably both. Sweet and salty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite color?
Blue.
Right on. And go-to graver?
Go-to graver is probably just like a number 2 Angolite.
Right on.
Yeah.
Man, I appreciate you spending some time with us and kind of getting to know you more. And you guys can follow Matt on Instagram, TikTok, all the platforms. Check out Tuggle Designs. They have amazing stuff. They have gear. So
Cool.
brought to you by Tuggle Designs. We'll let you sit down and finish up.
Cool. Thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
Once again, it is that time.